What? No, you can't do it on you have to do it on your phone. Oh.
Okay, I thought it was.
You can only do live from mobile, so. No, it has to be from mobile. I was trying to write a tweet.
I think if Ainsley shows up, I might personally combust.
Trying to.
Just imagine.
Yeah, I might just die or something.
It probably won't happen, but imagine.
Just dies. Yeah, that's it. It just won't. But if it did, it would just die. I'm not logged into the podcast Twitter on my iPad, so hold on. I'm not logged in. You've almost been doing our show a year. That's crazy. I can't fix this.
Got my shirt. It was like new log account. It's
just me. What?
I got my shirt.
It was
You know yours on?
It's just me. I wasn't logged in on my iPad.
We both got our shirts.
I do.
Because I
was trying to prop my
Karen
phone
just gave me this.
I do.
Yeah. No, the craziest thing will be if Ainsley pops up and we're wearing shirts with her faces on, with their face on it. So
I'd actually die or something.
It'd be like, I promise
I would just die.
I promise we're okay. Yeah. No, it's late.
I mean, it's too late for us, honestly. Dude. No, it's already too late for us. We already
she listened to us for 2 hours.
Ainsley already knows how we are. He did listen to our episode. It's too late. It's too late to redeem it. Oh, I'm trying to write a tweet. Well, I'm retweeting our tweet saying that we're live. Join us. I don't know. Okay, because I can save the video, then I'll edit the part where I was sitting bumbling around.
People are ready to go.
We'll give people. We'll wait a couple
Did you send
a minute or two.
We'll see.
I just said we're live. I don't know, because how many people follow us on Instagram? Because I haven't used Instagram that much. I didn't. I should. I said we don't really use Instagram that much, even though we should. Instagram requires you to make a post and
send it to Steph. Maybe she'll pop up.
Yeah, I'm just very lazy. Instagram requires you making a picture for something to post, but then that takes work. I could do it.
Oh, I just thought of something, like looking through the notes again, but also
yes,
I'll mention this later. Like, there have been people recently who were shipping Jet and Seamus, and do I see it? Especially now that Ainsley was like, oh yeah, she 100% was falling for him. And I'm like, ma'am. But also, if they had started a relationship, it'd be toxic. It was
because it was kind of created in a sense of not being real. First of all, Seamus is in love with
until he kind of realized that apparently Julia and Jet have more in common than he thought. In one of Ainsley's interviews, she said that even though their relationship was built on lies, they really saw each other. Which honestly, I get it. What I was thinking is, he kidnapped
which
her,
I agree with.
and then you want to start a relationship after that, like. It'd be a little dicey.
Okay, I sent it to Steph.
But
they were relationship isn't built on
an
a
idea
good foundation
in
at the
the
moment.
Santa
So
Fe doc of
would
like
you
how we
rather?
can split if we choose to do so. And I'm asking possibly that we choose to do it because literally I spent an entire afternoon adding songs to the playlist because holy crap, now they fit because
Trash talking. Yeah.
also the fact that Ainsley finally brought up Malachi.
It was a song I was listening to when I was in the car.
Finally somebody has after months, and it's like I get questions still, but it happened.
Why is he not existing? Okay. Because
Like, at least
it doesn't exist anymore to them.
Not
We're like,
forget about him.
Exactly. He's gone. I know I was like, for a while. We just kind of said,
what do we
oh,
do?
well. We're like, leave him.
Oh, shit, I just came off. Well, anyway,
know,
there's no wicked
one person watching, which is you.
Because
yeah.
It says share this live video with
I made all
so
the
they can
cover
watch.
art myself.
I just want to tag them so bad,
yes.
But I also don't want to be pushy because I've done it twice already. I don't want to be pushy.
And then I would just explode, and then be like, oh.
I want.
Yeah, but it was a great
time. If they want to, but I also want to
be
a reasonable. I say reasonable, and yet I have a shirt with their face on it, so. And I'm very happy you did, but I was just like,
you know, I gave it to you. I bought it for you with my money. In fact, I was like I sat there being like, I could wait till my paycheck comes. No, I did it before. I was like, I couldn't wait anymore. Good thing I didn't wait because you wouldn't have had it on time.
Are we recording?
Right now.
How do we got it
right on time. No. Oh, you just save
it because I can feel myself yawning.
You just like save it there, and then I have to. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy. Then I say crazy stuff when I'm sleepy. Okay, so we're gonna go. So if anybody shows up, I'm trying to like pull phone. I have my phone plugged in so it won't die, but it's okay. We're gonna look at this.
Yeah, mine are on my computer.
As I get the notes pulled up. Hold on my iPad.
I did not watch the entire episode again. I watched
my phone's charging, which is what. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it again at all. So I fell asleep. I fell asleep before I told you I would sleep. I wrote, and then I fell asleep, and then I don't sleep all night every night, and I woke up. I wrote an idea down. I wrote something down.
I was stupid.
I woke up this morning.
Decided to read that article before I went to work, and then was freaking out, and then I was late leaving my house.
I didn't have my phone. I usually put my phone do not disturb when I go to sleep.
I didn't think you were gonna be awake.
I sent it to you because I had it on my bed instead of like where it's supposed to be. So that I was like, I wasn't. I think I was. I think it's just like my brain is just getting up at that time, and then my phone went off. And I was like, it's time to be awake.
I got to turn my weekday alarm off because I have vacation next week.
And then I went back to sleep for like an hour.
Yeah. Thank God.
I didn't.
Yeah, you have to deal with your education or your break from education for a week.
We don't have a Monday. I do not. I have very much had my education. I don't have any time off till March. Okay. Hold on. My iPad didn't have someone logged in on the wrong one. I was like, where are the notes? Hold on. I wish Google Docs was a better way to make folders and organizing this stuff because everything's just chaotic. Okay, here we go. I have to say it to introduce the show because I'll have to edit this later. Okay.
I'm Callie.
So, hello. Welcome to the Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Taryn. And we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, podcast writing, and more. And today we are doing this live.
It's 11:30 at night. My time, 10:30 at hers.
We might do this more often.
It's
kind of
late.
Fun. It's very
we just had to do this now. We have no idea why, but here we are.
We're tired. Yeah, it'll be great. We're gonna so we're gonna do what we did last week. We're gonna split split this off. So we'll talk about the mothership and SVU for the recording for Wednesday. This will be a weekend special. I edit this
It's
probably
its own
Sunday
thing
and get this
again.
up. So we will. Hey, it's its own thing again. We're doing that Instagram live, and if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should. I'll try to be more active on Instagram, but that just takes a lot more work than Twitter does. So I have to make posts for Instagram. But we're going to talk about the organized crime episode, All in the Game. And we've been waiting for 2 weeks for All in the Game.
We
wrote
were
a whole
totally
pic
off,
based
but
on
you know,
something we literally didn't know about, which it is out.
we got some of it, but
We
then
were-
our
we were
creative
right
liberty
in
went
a little
way
bit, but
off.
most of it was wrong. And
Yeah.
we're glad it was wrong. But we're glad it was wrong because the movie wrote is messed up. But if you guys want to read
It's a
that
dangerous
fic,
game.
the
Yeah.
movie title is that one. It's dangerous.
It
What is
had
the
nothing
title
to
of it?
do with the fact
It's
that
a
it's
dangerous
called the episode is
game.
called
Okay, 'cause
On
we have
Game.
so many
It's
titles
from
for
a
stuff.
song title,
That one is
but
dangerous.
now that I'm saying it, it's fitting, I guess.
Yeah,
No.
you
So
guys go.
our creative liberty thing,
It is kind of thing.
on one hand,
You published the first chapter.
so glad it's not happening. On
Yeah. Because what we did was we were like,
On
let's
the other
write 2 parts.
hand,
We're gonna write a
it would
part
have been
that's gonna be more
stellar
canon-based,
performances from
and then one
Ainsley
that's
and
not
Michael.
canon-based. It would have been. It would have been. And you guys need to go read it. I mean, when I put this on, I'll link the fic when I put this on the podcast. Make the podcast up. I will link it. It's very good. Go read it. It makes us happy. Thanks for supporting us. It makes us happy. Yeah. So we'll get to it because it's late.
They started
I
off
need to
with
be
like a
tired.
recap of everything that happened
I will be asleep.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Because it was like 2 weeks.
And they showed, and then they started the episode from Jet aiming her gun at Seamus again. It was like, what? And then they showed her getting, it's like a different angle of seeing it. And then they show her getting thrown on the ground again, which was actually Ainsley. Like, no stunt doubles. Ainsley did it.
No stunt doubles.
Did an interview, and they said that everybody kept coming up to them, and it's like, "Are you okay?" And Ainsley's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And everyone's like, "You just got flung on the ground." So literally,
most of them you don't.
I don't
do
know
everything
if
in one take.
Michael had a stunt double or not, but if so, then it was literally Michael flinging Ainsley on the ground. Like, okay, Ainsley, if you're okay with that, then I don't know. All power to you, but like, you just got flung in the ground.
And we were like, we were real sad people.
Which means that, like, literally, when they showed Ainsley in the trunk, it was Ainsley in the trunk.
Don't understand.
Ainsley got stuffed in the trunk.
Yeah.
Too many times.
Y'all don't understand how much we watched that scene like again and again and again and again.
Okay, so they showed
because we had to make sure we did it right when we wrote it, and we wrote it. It's crazy. Sorry, Dario. One day we're gonna do it. We'll do a one day we will do it.
And then
let's talk about
time it showed that Michael Amato saw the entire thing. If you don't know who that is, that was the guy that Seamus was supposed to kill.
If you don't know who that is,
but
that was
didn't.
The guy that.
And he thought, and Seamus thought he paid him off, but the guy didn't do it. There, went to go kill Eamon anyway. It failed. So Seamus pulled Juliet out of the club, trying to get them both to safety. The wig came off, and Jet was like, okay, cover blown, I'm a detective. Yeah. And so Amato literally saw the entire thing. Yeah. Saw that she was a cop. Went to turn around, and then Eamon and his, like, boxer dude literally just come out of nowhere and are, like, pissed.
Snatched.
So trunks are their thing, apparently.
They got snatched.
Everybody's getting put in the trunk today.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
we transition to
Then we said,
Seamus's
oh,
wedding,
again.
and Jet is literally in the trunk trying to
Yeah.
figure out a way to get out while screaming, Seamus,
She's like,
Seamus, don't
yeah.
do this, Seamus. And I'm like, we're already at the chaotic point.
Yeah. The fact that, because both it's a crazy scene because like they show Jet's perspective in the trunk, and then they also show Shane
And he
driving
doesn't
the
care.
car. You can
Mom,
barely very
he's
much
driving.
he can hear her scream, but he's just very much in this facial expression is just very blank. He's just driving, and you're like,
And then we transition
how
to
this
the
is
bar
feeling
where
the moment. This is not good. Yeah. We stretched. Sorry, this is
way
off
long.
the being bad. This is what happened when you talk to
Literally,
yourself
we
late
already
at night.
showed up.
We stretched
They
this scene
showed
out
up,
way
and
longer
everybody
than
knew
the
the
show
Jet was missing already. Like, okay, that was fast, but good.
Okay,
And Yana's literally talking, and Elliot are talking to this cop that's in the bar, and they're like, "Did anybody say the Jet was hurt?" And I'm like, "Good, Yana, good." Well, and then we find out that Reyes found Jet's phone, and they're like, "Oh, great!" And they couldn't track Seamus's location because Seamus turned his off. And then Ayana is like, "Okay, what is being done to get Jet back?" And I was like, "Good, okay, good." And then they decide to lock Teddy. Like, Teddy is like, "Okay, what the hell do we do now? What about me?" And Jamie and Bobby literally like drag him into a room and lock him in there. They're like, "We don't have time for you right now. One of our own is missing. Bye."
We just need to make sure you don't get away.
And Danielle literally tweeted out,
"To make sure you don't run off." You know?
"Yes, Teddy, you are a dog. We don't care about you." Lol. I'm like, oh yeah, literally at that point I was like, "Stop complaining, shut up, Jet is missing." And then literally,
nothing's important right now.
They have Elliot go to talk to Omera, still like with his undercover persona of talking to him. And he's like, "Okay, where's Omera?" And Murphy's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Okay, we'll figure it out because Omera is kidnapping one of my dealers, like the car dealers." I love how they worded it that Elliot's like, "No, she was absolutely kidnapped, but didn't break her cover and kept it as that Elliot for certain he's kidnapping the car dealer that you know." Yeah, cute, sexy. You know, he was all those.
That was cute.
Okay.
He kind of took her.
And yeah, he kidnapped her.
Yeah.
So.
And she's gone.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. No good.
No.
Man, sorry. I was gonna say something. I can't say that because that spoils the episode.
And you know. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. Hold on. Where's my iPad? We do this all the time.
Then we
Y'all don't know how
transition
much you're we say stuff, but I can't say that out loud because that's a thing that we haven't talked about.
Sam is driving into the woods, and he gets out of his car, and he has his gun, and he opens the trunk, and he says, he is like pissed. He's angry. His tone of voice is totally like low. He's literally like, "Get out." Jet is silent. She does not move. And he says, "Get out or I'll make you get out." With the gun pointing at her. And she's like, she gets out. And he's like making her walk with like his gun pointed at her. He's like, "Come on, keep walking." She's like, "Okay. And he's like, "Okay, it's right over here." And then we see the scene from the prom where Jet is standing in front of the giant hole.
The whole. We did something different with the whole, but they do what we did.
Um,
But it's okay.
and then
That was the
Jet
roast side.
immediately is
They
like,
did the best.
Seamus?
So
No. Like, she's scared, she's sad, she's no idea what's going on.
yeah, she's in
Then
there.
we
What's
get the
going on
intro,
here?
and then after the intro, like, I missed part of this at first because
The
my
music
dad
is
accidentally changed the channel, and then my mom and I screamed. I was like, put it back, put it back, put it back. He's like, I'm sorry. He puts it back, and then it's like, Seamus, don't do this. You don't have to do this. And now it makes sense. In another interview, Ainsley was like, it's not gonna be what the poll is not gonna be what people think it is, which is true because we thought Jet was gonna end up in there.
Yeah, which is true.
No, the
We
pit
did think that. We were like,
was
oh my
supposed
God,
to be
just
a grave
we wrote. Sorry,
a motto
we
when
wrote something
the
about that.
was done.
Yeah,
But didn't.
The hit was done.
At this point, like, she was angry. Like, he yelled at her, and I was like, oh my God, this is not good.
Yeah.
He's literally like explaining like, this is supposed to be for motto, and then I didn't think I was gonna have to use it because I put this contract out, and he didn't listen anyway, and he did exactly what you're doing now, which
exactly what you're doing now,
and like, my first thought was maybe like backstabbing him or betraying him, which unfortunately,
which is kind of true. It's true because
and then he's like thinking about it, and he literally
Juliet
he yells and growls, and he's like, then I have your voice in my head, and Jet is like, oh God,
and I was like,
and yet he's like, and here I am, I didn't do the hit. What does that mean? And Jet is like, it means you're a good man. And James is like, no, I'm a bad guy who can sometimes. I was like, ouch, that kind of hurts. And then they get into a conversation about Murphy, and she was like, do you know what he's capable of? And then Jet replies back, do you know what I'm capable of? And I was like, ooh, but then it turned into something different. And she's like,
I was like, ooh,
do you know what I'm capable of? Making this all go away. I can tell people we went to go get a deal. We're making a deal. This never happened.
This never happened. She was like, this didn't
I told you.
It would have been
I
different
put an
if she
idea in the dock.
It would have been. We might have to play with that. Who knows? We'll see.
She said she was even going to get him witness protection.
I was having a crisis. So.
Witness protection.
Like,
I will get you.
whatever you
I
want.
will get you
I'm
to
pretty
Santa
sure
Fe
she
like you wanted, and I'm like, oh
he was
my God. Well, she said we say that, and yet she walked right up to the gun.
Of him killing her.
And then as
we thought that
Seamus is like getting it. So we didn't write this like verbatim, but we wrote it that we said Jet was gonna stall him and then kind of distract him and try to take the weapon. Which she did. He's fine. Silence. She grabs the gun. He tries to grab the gun.
She didn't grab the gun.
Seamus pulls it back.
She tries to grab
realizes it didn't work out so well and runs.
Because he's like.
And then we literally get a full-on weird-ass hunt through the woods thing. But it was terrifying. It was really good.
Yeah,
it showed how clever Jet is because
it was so good. It was really good.
At one point, Seamus sees a log in the woods, and Juliet's sparkly red scarf is there, and he sees it, and he's looking at it, and then Jet pops up and hits him on the head with a log. I was like, you go free. Fooled me. He's like,
there's a line before that where he's...
That was like, ooh.
I was like, ooh, that one's a good one. Oh, what was I doing?
Join us.
Tweeting again, being like, where are you all? If you're not here, what are you doing?
After that, we literally get more, but Scene and Jet is hiding behind this rock. And Seamus is like, you really hurt me back there. I'm dizzy, bleeding, and can't see straight. And I'm like, oh, great, now he's playing her. But it's her, like, we can see Jet's head,
what are you
peeking out.
I was like,
oh my God,
please don't fall for it.
Ma'am didn't. I'm like, no, fall for it. He's gonna take her again, and then we're gonna get more kidnapping. No.
We're like, no.
No, we didn't. I really thought they were. That, like, this is going to be, like,
they could
the
drag the story
entirety
out
of the episode.
But I thought it was too. And actually, I didn't. The reason why I didn't think that was because we were looking at the pictures. There's only, like, a few from that scene. And it was just, like, a bunch of other stuff. And I was like, this arc's not going to be as long as I thought it was.
We'll get to that
I wish it was a little longer. They could have pushed at least to halfway.
Thoughts about that,
That was, like,
but
the
I have
first,
to
like,
get to the end of the episode before I give my thoughts.
Oh, we have a night. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely thought this, like, part of the episode was going to be longer. And so it looked like, literally, Seamus looks like he's about to shoot himself, because he has the gun under his chin. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, he puts it to his chin. We're like, oh my God, he's going to explode. Like, dang, bro.
And the Jet, like, literally pops up and was like, you need to stop.
But okay, I was like, oh.
Please don't do this. And Seamus is like, why?
Don't do it again.
And she's like, because I care about you. I never lied about that. And I was like, okay. Oh, alrighty then. And then Danielle put out some fun tweets. One of them says, going to get our girl back, which I love. And then the Law and Order one put the promo pic of the Elliot, Ayana, Jamie, and Ray and Bobby all in the woods with their flashlights, and it literally says Jets.
Yeah, that one.
Jets Search Squad assemble. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. We wrote it differently, but we had it for enough. Most of the point, we did have the squad coming to rescue her in the woods.
Yeah. Next time we have an off week, we'll probably do let's talk about
at the point episode. Like, Seamus is basically, like, holding the gun, and the squad arrives. Everybody's got guns drawn. And then, Elliot is the first one to be, like, to the rescue. He's like, Jet, move away from him. And Jet not wanting to, because she sees everybody pointing the gun at Seamus. Seamus with, like, a gun in his hand. It's not looking good. Decides to be super confident and stand up to the entire squad, including Elliot, which I absolutely loved. She literally is, like, putting her hands up, and she's like, she yells this out loud. She's like, I got this. Stop. And she's trying to, like, coax Seamus to stop this. She's like, we can fix this. It'll be okay. And Seamus looks right at her and says, I'm sorry. And then steps right towards the squad, and they all start shooting. Now, here's my thing. I get it that he was armed. But he wasn't shooting. So why did they all have to start shooting?
They didn't have to shoot him. Nope, he wasn't shooting. I think there's a protocol on that. I think if you have
But he
kill
literally
someone
wasn't
that he can shoot
doing
you
anything
if
at
you
that
haven't
point.
really
He
not
literally
supposed to.
walked
From what I
towards them,
from what I
and
understand
they
of
all
TV shows,
went.
from what I understand of TV shows, if you're out on a murder charge, they can shoot you. They do the kill.
Like, at that point, they could all
Yeah,
see that Jet
that's
was
right.
okay, like, physically at least.
Yeah. What is an
I
interesting choice in this
just don't know if all of the shooting was necessary. Maybe, like, one to, like, disarm him, like, in the shoulder or something, fine. They shot him 4 times.
Yeah, no, he was like 3
And,
times. Well, he
I'm
was
pretty
hit
sure
3
Elliot
times.
shot first,
He was hit
obviously.
like 3 times at least, yeah.
And Jet immediately rushed over to
You
him
know, he never thinks about anything.
because he's
Just
got
shoot now.
freaking bullet wounds all over him now. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This is what
It's not
we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. And I said,
Yeah.
Seamus wanted to be shot, I think. He walked forward. He wanted this to happen. Not because I think
No.
he knew he knew if he was caught it wasn't gonna be good for the whole because he got Murphy on his back, he got going to jail, his heart is broken, he's real sad. I mean, he didn't really care anymore. So yeah. He's very good. Okay. Well, now it's not on the screen. So what?
Okay.
I don't know what
so then we
I'm supposed to
transition
say.
to the hospital and we see Jet getting checked out, and she's like in this black and white swirly sparkly dress, which was super cute. And that was one of the pictures that Ainsley tweeted out before the episode. She literally is like a peace sign in the dress in the hospital room.
Yeah. It's a great tweet.
The nurse is trying to check her out, and she, as honestly as we kind of predicted of it, she kept saying, she's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine, I'm fine. And then Elliot and Ayana are coming to try to talk to her. She's like, I'm fine. My wrist hurts a little bit, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
And Ayana tells her that Seamus is out of surgery, but he's in critical condition. And I'm like, okay, I'll accept that.
He's alive. That's... We figured, I think you told me this one time, you were like, he's not listed in any more episodes.
Like on the wiki,
and then we figured
which I found
something
early because I was trying to just get more fake information. It said like this would be the last appearance of Seamus O'Mara, and I'm like, okay, cool. No, I mean not cool because
there's only 2 options.
but okay. Anyway,
for the second option. Cool.
So Elliot actually gave some good advice in this episode. Okay. And he says, like, when Jet kept saying she's fine, he's like, it's not gonna hit you all at once.
Sorry, this time.
She's like, and then she looks at both of them and she's like, thank you. She, like, her and Ayana are talking about the case and everything. She's like, thank you. I tried my best. I just wanted Seamus. And she trails off. And it's like, you could see the thoughts were in her head of how much she's thinking about this guy. And then she looks at Ayana and her voice gets soft and she's like, I just hope we can get Murphy for you, Sarge. And I'm like, oh, emotional. Jet wanting to do everything for Ayana again. Then we transition to Amato being literally tortured by these students. And he's like, stop, I have something I can offer you. And Murphy's like, what?
literally retort.
He's like, all the people in the bar, they're cops.
They're cops.
The one who was dating your, and he specifically mentioned that he's like the one that was dating your right hand man. She's a cop. That's how her reveal herself as a cop.
Yeah.
And we're like, so when we're watching this, I'm like, oh my god, no, he's gonna go out
Really,
about that. And then Murphy's like,
something's gonna happen. Yeah. We had to. I like the change we made to the story we were working on early because we were working on. And you were like, what if this person actually did the thing? I was like,
so I'm like, oh my
sense.
god, now Murphy's gonna go after the entire squad and Jet
why,
specifically, and
it's all
go bad. It might still happen. Who fucking knows?
But you might still. You never know. You never know. We still have we're on episode 15. So got like 6 more.
So we're on the next arc now.
You need to go to 22 or 24. You never know. We'll find out. Sometimes it's 22, sometimes it's 24. We'll see.
Then I'm thinking, oh god, this is gonna be back to the squad. And Murphy literally just looks at the guy and he's like,
"Just the information."
And if you're telling me this, then you meet. Yeah.
Which he's like, later you find out.
You're telling me this.
This matters later.
Do you think I'm stupid? And then he's like, no, I'm just telling you this is the truth. And he's like, if you tell me this, that means everything is happening under my nose. And I'm dealing with these liars. And I don't do well with that type of thing. I don't remember the exact line, but it was something like that. And it's like, oh crap. And then
it's not looking good.
He's like, well, since you gave me this, thanks, but it's not gonna do anything for me. He unleashes his dog, and then we literally hear the guy being mauled to death by a dog.
Mauled by. Yeah. Jack was not playing. Jack eats people.
Apparently the dog, that's literally his diet.
Eats people. So, rip.
His diet is people.
Real stuff. Is people.
And then so earlier in the episode, Teddy got the to-go bag that he wanted to have when he was at the mission. Then Jet was like, this is a to-go bag. We're keeping it behind the bar, but you're not having it. Well, he has it now. And so because everybody else is distracting with Jet and O'Mara, he's trying to leave. But he needs to get his ankle monitor cut off because he's under house arrest.
Once again. Well, first he actually it was like, for some reason the police are watching the bar, and then the officer comes into the room looking for him, I think. And then he's like, he gets his gun and is like, cuff yourself to this chair. And the officer's like, fine. And then he gets the gun out of the bag. It's like, cuff yourself to the chair. And the officer does that, and then he takes off. That's how he escapes once again. And someone joined us. Hello. But
Did you say somebody joined us?
And then it's like, I lost her spot. Oh yeah, Teddy goes off to this hello. But wait.
Oh.
Hello, thanks for coming. I will give you a nice wave.
We have a person. Hi.
It's not anybody we know, but hello. Hi. You can't see it, but I'll give them a nice wave. But we'll continue. But lost my spot. Oh, Seamus goes to this car place. I'm not sure Seamus. Teddy goes to this car place, and he talks to the guy, and he's like, I'll give you some money. He takes out some money, and it's like, can you help me out? And then the guy's like, no, I'm not gonna help you out. I'm not going to jail for you. And he's like, well, here's some more money. Are you gonna help me out? And he's like, no. And he's like, eventually he gives in. It's like,
he's like, you literally don't have to do it. Just give me your tools, and I'll cut it off.
What are they called? Yeah, he gets the crowbar. That's not called crowbar. Whatever that thing is called. But don't know why my brain is blank. Yeah, the big ones. You know, the big, thick, heavy ones. That thing. But whatever it's called. But he uses it to cut the ankle bracelet off, and then he calls for some help, and that's it. And then
we transition to Jamie and
he
Bobby
calls for some help. Is where
having to go
just
after him because they can't just leave
then
him.
the Jamie and Bobby.
And then they start arguing of like how
nope.
Who left the bag?
You're like, who
and
left
joking.
the money? Like, they not the money. Who left the bag? About why they left the bag just out in the room. They're
And
like,
then
nobody was supposed to be in the room because it
Danielle
was the
tweeted
camera.
out Reyes
They were
and
watching.
Reyes and Jamie arguing is hilarious to me. Yeah, they're both really good at it, and now they're both like, you think I did this? And you think I did that?
Pretty
like,
cool
oh,
friends, and they're like,
now we're arguing. And then they'll find out that Teddy is at this place. And they're like, they already passed it. And then they're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And then Jamie's like, I got this.
He's Jamie.
Yeah, he was just like a really awesome car driver. So he literally started doing his stunts, turn them around. And Reyes is like,
he's the three.
Okay. So then we transition to and Jet showing up at Seamus's apartment. Where we get some
Ariana and Jet at
more
Seamus's apartment.
Information.
What is this?
This is when things start becoming pretty much clearer.
Yeah. I was gonna take a screenshot and then look at the picture more closely, but then you can't take a screenshot on Peacock, so I didn't do it. I forgot. It's like
a lake and a sunset. So there's like lines in the sky, and on the bottom it's like a sun, and some lines are like water and grass on the ground. I'm a feeling it's like inspired by a painting, or like inspired by Santa Fe, or just a doodle. Who knows? Anyway, Ayana finds this cloth, like white cloth with this drawing on it. And she looked at Jet and is like, what's this? And Jet's like, oh, that's just a doodle I did when I was over. She literally says this to her sergeant. And after last episode, I was really kind of surprised that she said it. She's like, oh, that's a doodle I did for him when I was over here. You drew him something.
Or like, I mean,
yeah, well, at least now we know that they didn't actually sleep.
They thought she.
Well, obviously, we didn't think that they did. Because Jet said it. But now we have actual confirmation that they didn't sleep together. She drew him a picture.
But she was doodling.
Like, okay. And Ayana's looking at her like, oh yeah. Which,
she signed the doodle Julia.
Another layer in of itself. Like the fact that she's literally like did an entire painting add Jet, because we know Jet's an artist, but she's decided to sign her undercover name and give it to Seamus. And then Elliot finds plane tickets from New York. 2 plane tickets from New York to Santa Fe one way.
2 plane tickets, one way.
And it was like, oh god. And Ayana looks at Jet and she's like, did you know about this? And Jet is like, no. But you could see something like gears turning in her head. Like the episode before, like it was all talk. Like, oh, we're gonna go to Santa Fe. I'm gonna get you your art studio, all that. No, Seamus, he was serious. He bought the plane tickets and he was going to take her to Santa Fe. Like,
yeah, and this is the thing I hate about this is that there's no title time like cards, so we don't know how long in between they were. Like how long it was in between the
So
time Jet went to his
yeah, he
place
was
to when this happened. There's no clear time.
set and done to take Juliet to Santa Fe.
Could have been a week. Could have been a couple days. Could have been a couple days.
It's like
Could have been a couple days. You're playing this real fast. Could have been like 2 days. We don't really know.
So Ayana's looking through like these drawers, and she finds like a latch, open latch that pops up. And so I looked at the screen really fast. It was a watch in the corner, and then when she pulled out the box, I'm like, did he buy something else for her? Like, are they literally going to pull out this really important piece of jewelry and then Jet be like, oh my god. No, it was a pen that turned into a gun. A pen gun is an actual thing.
What?
And then Ayana's like, this is the one that looks exactly like the one that killed my partner. And that's where we get that information now. So it's pretty much verbally confirmed. But also the fact that she kept it as his house means she got a lot more debt to Murphy than originally planned.
Yeah.
We still have no idea what that debt is, but
he explains but it doesn't matter now. But yeah, it's to keep. He had Seamus keep the pen as like security that he wouldn't turn because if they ever dug up his place,
then we
Ayana
says it looks like the one that killed my partner. Then we transitioned back to Teddy. So he had like called for like an escape vehicle and everything.
Yeah.
And he gets in and he's like, everything's fine. And the driver turns around. For the escape vehicle, and then he gets in. And like, it's like, next time be careful who you're calling when you want an escape vehicle. And Teddy's like, oh shit.
You want? Yeah. What do you mean? He's like,
oh, he says that like you make deals with prisoners, pay them enough not to turn you in.
And he's like, next time isn't.
Then we transition. Yeah, so
that, but the gist of it was.
Then we transition to Elliot, Jet, and Ayana talking in Ayana's office. This is a scene I wish I watched again because it was a lot of information and I was zoning out about something. They're talking about how they need to talk to Amara to get information on the pen gun and what happened with Jennings. And then Jet is like, let me go talk to him. And Ayana's like, and Elliot are like you can't do that now. You're connected to him. You can't go talk to him. And then Jet is like, I made the relationship. And Ayana's like, Jet, in this like stern, like older figure tone. It's like, Jet, stop talking. But also the fact that she called it a relationship. And then Ayana continues and says, Jet, you've been through enough. You've done enough. And Jet is like, I can still help. Then we transition to Jet went with Elliot to go talk to Seamus, but Elliot is the only one who went into the room. Seamus sees him, and this line is hilarious. He looks at him and he's like, Jesus, is there anyone still in Queens who isn't a cop? Because now he's putting the pieces together that everybody in that bar who came with Juliet is now a cop.
Was it?
Then they're talking about his injuries, and we find out Seamus got shot 2 times in the shoulder and 1 in the hip. One of them missed, and he looked right at Elliot, and he's like, was it you? And Elliot's like, not a chance. Which, honestly, I figured. No, there's no way in hell he would be missing the shot.
Figured.
And he's basically Elliot's talking to him, and he's like, if you want any chance of basically being okay again, you need to tell us what happened. Like, the jig is up, type thing. And then Seamus very clearly says he didn't want to hurt Jet. And Elliot says she didn't want to hurt you either. And he notices that she's gone now, and it's like, there was more to that scene, and I can't remember right now. But it's basically like the case and everything. This is after Danielle posted this tweet after Ayanna. After Ayanna, Elliot, and Jet were talking in her office. And, Jet and Danielle, God. And Elliot is like, you were connected to this case, now you can't go talk to him. You can't, you can't do this now. And then Danielle is like, and the amount of time Stabler's been undercover and still did.
Pretend like it never happened. Yeah. Like, bro.
Seamus and Elliot scene. Then we transition to Teddy being dragged into the warehouse by Murphy's goons and being brought into the room where Amato once was. I say once was because there's literally blood dripping from the chair. And then Teddy literally sinks to the ground and starts heavy breathing, and he's like, oh, God, please. Anything but this. And they get him in the
who wants to be eaten?
And then Teddy again is like begging, and the guy's like, "You're working for the cops," and he's like, "You think I'm working for the cops? I can tell you everything about them. They screwed me over. Whatever you want to know, I can tell you." And Murphy's like, "Nah, I'm good." And he goes to release his dog. And then organized crime walks in, and he's literally saved by a Bell. Because Bell and Elliot are there. And then Teddy literally immediately, we have more people? How many people do we have now?
Whoa. There's 2 people.
Yay.
Okay. There's 3 people.
Literally transition to Elliot. Thank goodness. Teddy's act changes immediately. He's like calling out to the cops. He's like, please help me, this guy's insane. Type thing. It's like, really? You were trying to turn a minute ago. Or he will kill you.
Sorry, that was a bad. I gotta send that to the group chat to make fun of. Sorry, I gotta send this to the group chat for later.
Okay. And then Elliot
to make fun of
arrests Murphy, and he starts reading him his rights. And he's like, do you understand these as I've said them to you? And Murphy's like, okay, boy. We'll see.
I thought this scene was gonna go way worse than it.
Yeah.
I honestly thought this scene was not gonna be way more chaotic. It wasn't gonna go that smoothly. I thought it was gonna go in chaos, but it didn't. It went rather smoothly. Continuing. Yeah, I thought this scene was way chaotic.
And then we transition to
it was all no action here. It wasn't crazy.
Wait, we'll see.
He says Elliot. He tells
and then
we
hey, that's my cousin.
I was like, calling it. It's your cousin. Oh.
Yeah.
Hello to your cousin.
Yeah, Emily Grow, that's my cousin.
Oh, cousin, I haven't.
Hey. Where are we? Okay.
We're talking about the
transition to Ayana and Elliot talking, like, outside of the interrogation room. They're both looking at Murphy. And Elliot's like, you should let me. And Ayana's like, hell no.
There's no line between it. Just goes to pause, and then it's like, hell
no, I'm doing this. And they walk in, talking about Jennings and just all the entire case. And Ayana's like, we got all of this on you. You spent your whole life getting out of rooms like this, but not today. We got you. You're done. And it was like, yes. Go, Danielle.
Ooh.
But finally, done. End of story. This guy can go to jail. Then we transition to back to the hospital, and Seamus is like literally laying in a gurney.
They're about to transfer.
To be transported. And he's looking up at the sky, and this cop, they're watching him. And Jet walks in and he's like, can I have a minute with him? I'm surprised the cop said yes, but yeah. She's like, I brought you something. And she pulls out this art book. This Georgia O'Keeffe art book. And she's like, we found this in your apartment. So it makes me wonder, did he have that book before he met Juliet? Or did he get it when he started dating Juliet? And then she looks and she's like, I like the Black Mesa the best, which is a painting.
I'm gonna look it up, I forgot.
I did. And I'll explain how important it is later when we get to the scene that it's in. I'll explain.
I forgot to look it up. I was going to. Well, I'll look it up on my iPad. Continue.
And they're literally like, there's a moment like they're literally just looking at the book and they're smiling at each other. And then Jet is like, I should go. And I'm like, Jet.
I googled it. It makes sense now. It's all coming together. It's all
coming together. And as she's trying to leave, Seamus says, I don't want you feeling bad about this. You did the right thing. No, hold on.
You didn't
I
do
don't
anything.
want you feeling bad about this. You didn't do anything wrong. I did. And I was like,
ooh.
And then as she leaves, she says, take care of yourself, Seamus. And I'm like, okay. I mean, at least things are ending on good terms.
Okay, fairly balanced, not too
fairly balanced. I don't know how I feel about this, but at least it's okay.
Yeah.
And then Danielle tweets out, now this is before I read any article today.
We can just
Danielle literally
we should live tweet.
Danielle literally tweets out, they in love, it's cute. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
That's not what we were saying last week.
No, it was in certain last week.
Oh my god, the first comment is my favorite thing in the world. This person wrote Romeo and Juliet. Whoa. Well,
it kind of is.
Honestly. Fitting.
I did think about that when I forgot to tell you that.
I have a song idea, and it literally has to do with Romeo and Juliet. So I'll send that to you once we're done.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, things are cool. Then we transition back to the bureau, and hell breaks loose. Because Ayana and Elliot are literally entering the bureau again, and the FBI informants, FBI people are everywhere. And Ayana's looking at Thurman, and she's like, what the hell is going on? And he's like, FBI is taking over this case. And Elliot's like, we had no idea Murphy was being investigated by the FBI. And then we get the plot twist of the episode, which honestly I hate.
I kind of hate the plot twist. It's kind of stupid.
So much.
I was like, really? Kind of stupid, but okay.
Because it's just like
it takes away from
takes away everything and also shows the FBI is incredibly stupid.
They really are. If they would be like, we're concerned about this one minute thing.
So
we'll sacrifice
we find out that Murphy is a protected FBI informant.
He has been for a long time. Like,
the man who lets his dog eat the people he's killed is an FBI informant.
I was like, what's the FBI? What kind of things are you doing for the FBI then?
Like, literally, like,
come on. Answer these questions soon.
What are the requirements to be an FBI informant?
You gotta give some information.
Not a lot.
You gotta have some kind of information that.
Yeah, but he gets all of this information by killing people.
Well, it's first ethical. But ethical? No. Yeah, not exactly the most ethical thing to do, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I want to know what they're gonna do with this
in the
they're gonna bring long run, because the fact that they literally just sort of like, here you go, this is the plot twist.
Yeah,
I hate this so much.
And organized crime isn't known for proper balancing on storylines. Yeah, like. We'll talk about our biggest beef with this episode. We'll talk about it when we get to the end. Then we have a serious problem with this episode when it comes to the end.
So Ayana looks right at Thurman and she's like, he killed a cop. Does that mean anything? Thurman's like, it does, but basically this is out of my hands. And then we see officers in her office looking through like boxes and photos.
Yeah.
This is when before we learned what these photos were, I got so scared that they were looking at the photos that she took of Jet.
Yeah. But they wouldn't care about that. That's not everything. I don't know if I would care, but
that's why she was like rushing to get them, because she didn't want anybody to see them. No, that's not what it was. And honestly, somehow it got worse. She's literally running into her office and she's like pulling photos from their hands. She's like, no, that's mine. And Elliot rushes in and is like, puts his hands on her arms and he's like trying to pull her back. And then we get Danielle's voice cracking and I cry.
Yeah, she's like, these are her personal photos.
She's like, these are my personal. And I'm like, and Elliot's like, I know, but you have to let them do their job. And I'm like, don't take these girls' photos of her. Take everything else. You don't need the personal ones.
I know, they're like, sorry.
Yana at this point is pissed.
Yeah.
Especially because before in the interrogation scene, I missed this part. Yana's like, you're done. And
thank you for
we got a comment. Thank you, person.
Thank you for answering a question.
Basically, to become an FBI informant, you have to be really good and connected in whatever area of crime you're doing and that they're interested in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I mean, technically he is, but is that really worth the price to pay for more people getting killed?
That's a good question, but I guess we'll see what they'll do.
Nobody up until now with the Jennings case has known that Seamus is the one doing the murder.
Yeah.
And still nobody does. So apparently the FBI doesn't give a crap about that anyway, because Ayana's like, here is all the proof you need on a silver platter that he is directly responsible for the death of a cop.
And
they're like, okay, now we're still gonna use him. Like, what the hell? Okay, anyway, in the interrogation scene, he's like, as long as I get my phone call, I'm going to get my phone call first. Well, we find out the phone call was calling the FBI and being like, hey, I'm being charged with murder. Go tell your people that what our little deal is. Um, and then she calls her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I told you I was gonna get my phone call. No, I think I'm gonna take a visit to he's like, now I know I recognize you. You were his partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm gonna go take a visit to his grave.
Don't.
Have my dog pee on it, and I'm like,
oh, wait.
oh,
Like,
oh God! When I thought this guy couldn't get any worse.
No. Ooh.
And
Yeah,
he's doing this on purpose. He's purposely getting Yana angry.
Yeah, because you can't do anything about it.
And she hangs up, and she's like,
"FBI takes Trump over all of them." So.
She gets her gun. She straps it on
she
the
makes sure
holster.
it's loaded and then puts it in the holster. She
and then leaves.
And that's
and I'm like, great. So she's taking a page out of Elliot's book now.
That's book you should take pages out of, you know.
And I'm like, no one noticed she was leaving with a gun. Okay.
No one literally explained to me.
She goes to meet with Murphy in a warehouse.
His sole purpose is to piss Diana off.
Yep, exactly. And it's annoying as hell. And I hate it.
Yes.
Is it amazing acting from Danielle? Yes.
Does
it drive me insane because I hate seeing Yana like this? Absolutely. Yes. And she's like, look, at this point, I don't care if you go to jail. I just want the ring back.
Mm-hmm.
She wants Jennings Police Academy ring back.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
but you gotta beg.
And I was like, oh.
And I'm like, oh God.
She's
like, no. She's silent. She's not doing it. And I was like,
she's just gun pointed.
Yeah. She literally just takes out her gun.
Oh, we realized.
Hi, Steph.
Like,
that makes sense. Hi.
Thanks, friend. We know. But now we do.
I was like, Ayana is not playing this week. And then Danielle tweeted out. Oh, no, that's for something else.
Steph is our best friend, by the way. She keeps us in line and tells us we're going to thick jail when we're bad ponies. We were bad ponies. I don't know if you read our thick or not yet, Steph. We were real bad ponies.
Yeah.
And we're
way off, but you know.
There's a lot more we wrote a lot of that thick in like a week. It was a lot, bro. Crazy.
She's like, she's done. She pulls out her gun, points her at him. And the guy's like, well, don't pull a gun on a man unless you're willing to pull a trigger. And Ayana's like, who says I won't? And she goes to like move or say something else, and Ayana's like, nope, and points it right at his chest. And I'm like, come on. Like, for once, like, I am fully fine with somebody just murdering somebody because I hate this guy so much. Well, then Elliot shows up. And I literally wrote in the dog, Elliot, for once, leave. Just leave.
Because
go.
I think I was like, it's rather hypocritical of Elliot to be the person here. Because as many times
Steph and I are like, Steph and I are on the same page. I was like, let's do it, Ayana. Same. We should do it.
Because Ayana said something like, you know, I could say that, like, you threatened me first and I killed you because of it. No one would ever know.
Honestly. No, what I just want to know is, did she get the ring back?
I don't know. They didn't talk about it.
I hope she did. That's
probably
not. I don't think she did,
not.
but I hope she
Murphy's
did.
an asshole, so probably not. Okay, let's go back to this. Yeah, they're standing there.
I was reading, and I literally wrote role reversal. Like, Ayana is the one who's literally about to go kill somebody, and Elliot's like, you need to go and calm down.
As much as he's done it, still in the same position.
Yeah, really. Ayana, and I'm like, at that point, like, she gets him back in her car, and this is the scene where we see her crying. So in the promo originally, I
They
thought
put it right after they mixed it in with
reject.
like the jet stuff. Oh, we forgot to talk about that thing.
Now she's crying for her partner, which honestly fair. And she at this point I'm like, she's a mess. She doesn't want him to walk, which is fair. And then we get this scene. Danielle tweeted about it, and she's like, she's like saying like, you go, or something like that, forgetting that she's watching herself. She is so proud of the scene that she put out, as she should be, because it was so good.
So good.
And she's looking at Elliot, and her voice is cracking. She's crying at this point. She's like, I just wanted this so bad, Elliot. And I'm like, oh God, no, I can't take this pain.
You know, so we got too angsty real fast at the end.
Yeah, and then she's like, I was about to pull the trigger, and that scares me. I was like, ugh. This poor woman. This guy is tormenting her. Has been tormenting her.
10 years.
Yeah, for like 10 years. And she's like, I never want to be that close again. Elliot, on the other hand, does not give a crap. But also at the same point, he doesn't want Yana to go down
a whole path that she can't come back from. Because, you know, as a whole, you know, you gotta have your, like, you do stuff like that. You know, you gotta.
It's like, even if Murphy, like, I mean, the threatening explanation probably would have worked. But if Murphy is indeed an FBI informant, and the FBI needed him again, and then they found out he's dead, then there's obviously going to be only one person that they know who did it.
Yeah, it would have been a problem.
And she's like, this is the part that starts hurting me. She's like, I gotta find a way to let this go. And Elliot's like, you will. And the thing is, she shouldn't have to. If this plot,
the FBI showed up.
This plot twist wasn't a thing, she would have been able to get justice for her partner and herself.
The FBI.
And Elliot's like, you will. I'm like, no, she probably won't, but
no. Like, Elliot, what kind of beef you have with people? Like,
then we transition to the hospital with Seamus, and then there's
in the prison hospital,
and these two cops come in and they cuff both his hands to the bed. And he's like,
usually was suspicious then. Usually they only do one.
You usually only do one. I'm like, oh God, what's about to happen now? It's usually, I'm like, yeah, crap, is Murphy about to show up?
They're like, the doctor will be with you in a moment.
And he's like, what do you mean? I already saw the doctor. The cops leave. The curtain closes. The curtain comes back up. And there's literally two guys standing there in orange jumpsuits.
And they got shanks.
And he's like, Murphy sends her regards. Or basically, Murphy sent us. Yeah. And then they pull
out their shanks and they stab into it.
The camera changes to the curtain closed, and you can hear him screaming and the shanks happening and him getting stabbed to death.
Yeah, he did. Really.
I wasn't more in shock then.
I wasn't prepared for that. I should have known something would happen, but I wasn't.
But now, thinking back on it and hearing the end scene, it hurts so much.
Like, I honestly didn't want him to die.
Like, this guy grew on me.
Like, I didn't.
Yes, he kidnapped Jet, but he grew on me.
Something bad. I didn't hate him.
I didn't hate him. I would much rather prefer him be alive than Murphy. I think the fact that Murphy is still alive, nothing is happening, and the fact that Seamus is dead when he was trying to do something decent and not do a hit at the end is what makes me the most upset.
Yeah, I'm
like, out of anybody to be walking on the streets free with no consequences, Murphy should not be that person. Yeah. He should be in the morgue, not Seamus.
Yeah. We didn't know Seamus. You know, when we wrote our fic, Obviously, we understand what's going on, so you know.
Then we transition to
He's very much alive.
the
So in Fick World, he's still very much alive.
he will be.
Was he good or bad?
I have ideas.
Yeah, we do.
Um,
We have a lot of work we gotta get to.
uh,
This week we have more time. Well, you have more time. I have less time, but
I'm on
we'll figure it
vacation.
out.
Yeah.
I'm not. And we have midterms.
Then we transition to the bureau, and Jet's at her desk looking at the painting. The painting that
I
she was
googled it.
looking at is
The
the
one
Black Mesa.
Yeah, when I googled it and saw it, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah, I know. I googled it too to see what it was. I was like, ah. And she's got this goofy little small
Put out my
smile.
popcorn bag.
And she's got this goofy little small smile on her face.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh my god, what's about, like, oh god.
She didn't know.
She doesn't know.
She know we knew.
And then Yana's like, you're here early, and she like closes her laptop. She's like, just catch it up. And you can see Ayana looking at her like,
I'm gonna tell you, but it's not gonna be good.
Jet, I know what you're doing, but I'm not going to say anything about it now because unfortunately I have news to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Ayana is looking at her, and Jet looks up and she's like, what? And Ayana's like, Seamus O'Mara was killed this morning. And this is how I know the scene was gonna hurt, because literally the next line Jet says, Ainsley's voice is cracking already. She's like, how? And I'm like, oh god, what the frick am I about to get into? What are we about to get into? And then Ayana's like, you got into a fight with an inmate. Apparently he started it. And I'm like, okay, great.
That's not what happened.
Murphy spinning another story.
That's not what happened.
And she's like, how can he fight if he can't even get out of bed? And I'm like, oh my god, no. So I want to preface this by saying I wanted these kind of Jet emotions for 3 seasons. Not like this.
Mm-hmm.
I literally wrote in all caps, this is how we see our baby cry.
No, I was like, ooh, it's hurt.
And then Yana's like, I'm sorry. I just wanted you to hear it from me. And then she goes to walk away, but Jet isn't done. She immediately jumps out of her seat and she's like, so that's it? It all just goes away? Like, oh, okay, he's dead. That's it? Nothing else? And then Bella's like, we did our job.
Also, we forgot to mention earlier in the earlier scene, Elliot's like, maybe you should talk to a therapist, and just like,
no,
I'm fine.
Okay. Which I kind of predicted that she wasn't gonna not want to talk to therapy. Elliot's like,
we're figuring out a way we're gonna do it. But you can't tell
Elliot's like, trust me, if you can talk to somebody, it actually works. I'm like, it's coming from you? Okay.
Really?
And Jet's like, no, I'm good.
Sorry, I forgot about that earlier.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, Belle said we did our job. That's all we can do. And then Jet's like, so Seamus died for nothing?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where this is the part of the scene like where I started getting like emotional and angry at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And because Ayana says, O'Mara proved that Murphy killed my partner. That is everything. And then Jet is like, but no one is ever going to know that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The only people that are ever going to know that
is
the task force, because we can't say anything. Well, we can say so. We can absolutely say it. I have a feeling Jet will probably be saying this for weeks to come.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Ariana too, but definitely Jet. And it's like, they can say it and they can say it all they want, but the point is, no one's ever going to know that because they can say it, but nothing.
Mm-hmm.
they can say it all they want, but the FBI isn't gonna do shit.
Yeah, nope, the FBI doesn't matter.
And then
It's
Giannis is like, we do,
Mm.
and then we get to Jet says, and you're telling me that's enough for you?
Mhm.
Like at this
Mhm.
point, Jet is breaking down
Yeah.
because it's physically hurting her,
Mhm.
but it's also like personally, but also it's physically hurting her because she knew how much this meant to her sergeant,
Mhm.
and to see
They just threw it away.
it's just all being put away like that after all the work that they did. Like
Mhm.
I'd be, if I was Jet, I'd feel this way too.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset.
And then it's like, no, I love that Yana admitted that no, this isn't going to be this isn't enough for me, but I'm telling you it has to be. And now here's where we're going to stop, because Danielle put out a tweet that hit a lot.
Yeah, bro. Mm-hmm.
And she literally put it this point. She wrote, at this point, Belle is numb.
Mm-hmm. Because they honestly had her share of problems the past year. And this
How
just
the hell is this? We progress now. She's numb. What is this going to mean for her character?
Yeah, because she's been through her Denise leaving with her kid, and they're getting a divorce, and then not justice for her partner, you know?
When they were literally like this close, and if it wasn't for the stupid plot twist, she'd be in jail.
Yeah. They have to live with it.
And she's like, I'm telling you, it has to be. And I'm like, honestly, I'm thinking Ayana is just saying it
to cope.
Because she has to. She doesn't believe. I don't think she believes it at all. I'm thinking
she doesn't believe it, but she needs to say that too. You are correct.
Yes. Danielle's to the best. I'm thinking she's saying it because she's trying to get herself to believe it, because at this point she's so numb. She's like, I just have to get back to my sergeant attitude. But I don't think she believes it for a second.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this is a lot, and it's crazy how much they're just like, one little thing, just throw it all away.
I'm hoping we get another Jet and Ayana conversation after this about how they're both doing with this.
Yeah. Because they gotta jump plots real fast. They change arcs real quick.
Just
after this
line of, I'm telling you it has to be. I'm going to fully stand by the fact that Yana doesn't believe that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But because of her job, she has to find a way to do so. But personally, she doesn't believe it for a second. And I'm getting angry because
the way that it's...
I do want to preface this by saying both Ainsley and Danielle are incredibly proud of the arc and the work that they've done.
Yeah. We agree with that.
As they
the way they wrapped it up just kind of...
But the way they wrapped it up, like literally I wrote, they give Ainsley and Danielle this big arc and they end it like that.
Yeah, there was like
all of their hard work for nothing. Yeah. The only thing we're left with is them both traumatized.
Yeah, there was no there is
no resolution. It's no like resolution. Okay, we're just gonna move on to the next
no one
week.
to talk to, because because
the only ones they have to talk to are each other.
Yeah,
because the only ones who get it are each other.
Yeah, they only got it each other currently. No one else happened to Malachi, and it needs to know.
Yeah, so that's why I'm getting so visibly angry, because I care about these.
Yeah, we care about these characters a lot. They're the reason why we stick to this show.
Like this,
the reason why we stuck to this show, and we've written a lot about them, and we've done so much good creative content, and it concerns me that the lack of, I don't want, maybe it's respect almost, but when we do writing ourselves, we're like, okay, let's balance the characters well. We can make sure, this is a big example of this, resistance. Is how we which is gonna be more of that soon. Sorry, we got distracted again. Literally, there's a chunk that's missing, and then but sorry. but how we balancing characters and then like intertwining their stories into a good story is important. If you don't balance characters, you end up with this. And we said this was organizers' crime's downfall from the beginning. This was going to be their downfall when they balanced it really too much with Elliot. They ruined their show from the start. And we talked about this before, how their only thing that's keeping their show afloat is that people are hoping EO will happen. But it's probably not. And that's another rant for another day.
I mean, like, they finally take a
step, but letting
episode break.
Have this episode, and then it kind of just.
And they decide to end it with both of them broken and traumatized. Like,
yeah, no, not
what?
Yeah,
what
not,
the
not
hell?
Yeah, we were like, yeah, we got immediately back to writing after this, but yeah, there's one more little scene, and then we can like.
No, first we get to the fact that Jet starts sobbing, and I'm like, okay, now I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Because Ainsley sobbing makes me.
Yeah.
And it's like, now, how did they progress?
Yeah, like, they took out the little, and
Jet
takes out the doodle when she looks at it, and she's crying.
She's like literally holding it and sobbing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, how do they progress? I mean, we were like, well.
I wrote a fic literally after that scene.
Yeah.
We'll finish the episode, and then I'm going to talk about the fic because
I'll link all of our fics. I'll link
because I have a
and then I'll link. That
theory.
I forgot. I'll write it down
about how Jet will be next week, but also because there's a lot of
no Jet in the promo, so we have no idea actually.
That Ainsley did that we need to discuss. So anyway,
there's no Jet in the promo, so we're like
we transitioned from Jet sobbing.
The last scene of the episode. To
Murphy literally out on the walk with his dog, and he's growling at the dog's growling at another dog, and he's like, "Yeah, it's okay, it's okay."
Like, that dog's
and then Elliot walks up to him, and I'm like, for once, I'm fully okay with Elliot Stabler giving this guy what for, because I am more.
Don't be that man. I mean,
so angry.
It justified this time.
And I'm like, okay, he calls him the FBI's bitch, and I'm like,
he does.
That was fun, because it's true at this point.
Yeah, it's a game, bro.
But also, it's like, okay, does the FBI really not care that he has the FBI informant title and is still killing a whole bunch of people?
Oh, well.
Okay, anyway.
I think they're going to come back to that storyline.
I hope so.
Hope they come back to this. We found a way to do it ourselves.
I hope they come back to it, and then Jet and Ayana get the justice that they deserve.
Yeah, we came up with a way to do that, but you can't tell you it might be.
Because I swear to God, if we don't, then I'm going to write it.
Yeah, I'll write it myself, you know?
Okay. And literally they're having an entire conversation about everything that's happened, like, the past, I don't know, day or two. And Elliot's like, I'm not afraid anymore. You will be stopped at one point. Somebody will come get you. Somebody will get you. It could be anyone. Even me. Watch your back. And I'm putting this down on the internet. For once in my life, I am fully okay with Elliot Stabler just full on killing this dude.
Go on.
Like, nobody will be mad.
This time.
Ayana will be fine. Jet will be fine. Especially because the guy knows Jet's name. And I'm like, no, we're not leaving it like this. I'm not okay.
Nope.
This guy can't be on the street. I need him dead.
No. We have an idea for that. We figured it out.
So yeah, I am fully okay with Elliot going after this dude. Fully.
My poor dog is a real baby.
So what do we rate that? That's literally the end of the episode. What do we rate it?
Okay.
Yeah, literally Steph. Yeah, for once I'm okay with Stabler. Stable ring. Exactly. Stay. I hate this guy so much. I'm fine with it. Like, fine. If they're not gonna let Ayana do it, then let Elliot do it.
I gotta give it like a 3.5.
I gotta say, yeah. Last week was better.
Last week we gave it a 5. Last week, top tier.
If we
So
didn't
good.
have this annoying ass plot twist,
The
it would
plot
probably be a
twist,
5.
I
But
would
because of this annoying ass
yeah,
plot
I
twist, you
would
get a
have
3.5.
yeah, I think what they should have done is Steph might have missed the part where we talked about this, but like stretched out that first part longer and get Seamus and Jet's more dialogue about how did not exactly Seamus, I pronounce his name, Seamus. My this brain is not one word.
Tired. 5.
Yeah, Seamus talked about how he felt about Jet and how he felt about Juliet because they should have had a conversation about that. I feel like
the art book conversation scene was kind of okay. It was kind of showed
I feel
it.
like he genuinely needed to say how he felt about Jet.
Yeah.
We wrote.
He didn't. He also
we
never.
Wrote it,
I watched the episode to see it. He also never said Jet's name.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. He didn't call her.
He didn't use her name at all, but he never said Jet's. He just talked to her in general.
Yeah, I would have stretched it out. Let them have a conversation about like he loved Jet too, but he does love Juliet. We don't really know. We will never find out because he's dead. But you know.
So the episode would be higher if we didn't have to deal with this annoying ass plot twist.
And then it was just sad.
Yeah, if we didn't have to deal with the annoying ass plot twist and both of our ladies sad and heartbroken and traumatized, then I'd give it a 5. But since we do, you get a 3.5.
3.5.
Acting,
you can come up here.
Acting, you get a 5.
Drop the bar to the room.
Acting gets a 5. Storyline is a 3.5.
First scene. Story didn't bump that. And then moving on. Great.
Right.
Like they always do.
So, before we get to the interviews, actually no, interviews first. Because, Ainsley did a whole bunch.
He had a lot of them. I thought a couple. No, you sent them all to me. But I was like, I don't think I sent them all. I probably won't. But I was like, we didn't.
Oh, look, there's another one.
Or
there's more. Lovely.
No, we just said. I read the article when I woke up and went back to sleep. I read when I woke up this morning at like 7 a.m. I'm not gonna start. Oh, I'm kind of sleepy, but I didn't shower. But continuing.
Okay, so Ainsley also wondered like why she dropped her cover when the wig came off.
Yeah. She could have, because Jay could have said something like literally anything else. You just like,
literally, she wrote like, "Why don't I just say, oh, I got a bad haircut, I regret it. I wanted to see what it looks like with bangs."
Literally anything.
But she also said, but it's also worth taking into account. This is the first time that Jet has ever done anything like this. Honestly,
maybe she thought the safest option was to say, yeah. I'm like, oh.
She also saw an opportunity to try to save him. Yep.
Yeah. We see it now.
Ainsley was so happy to have scenes with Danielle that weren't going to get left on the cutting room floor, which also makes me wonder what the heck have they taken from us.
Because there's a whole scene we were talking about one time about that picture of like Bobby's family.
Oh,
and never showed the scene.
Love this. It says we've done some stuff together that has just ended up not airing, or it's B-plot stuff. So now we actually get it. Like, they actually get their stuff. Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, we gotta balance the characters better. We're not gonna make it. Because Organized Crime was on one final leg.
Oh, God. I love this one. Okay, this interviewer. So this is TVinsider.com.
We love TV.
The question is Belle does question how Jet feels about Seamus before she ends up in his trunk. What does she think of him? Does she feel a little bad for him? Ainsley replies, "Oh, 100%. I think it's more than feeling bad for him. It's been funny to see everyone commenting on the episode being like, oh good, she revealed her cover. I thought she was actually falling for him." Sitting there thinking to myself, oh boy, how do I tell you guys? How do I break the news to you that Jet is definitely feeling things?
I said you and I were texting.
Which makes me really I'm like, okay, like, so, both of us ship Jalakai.
Big
I thought I'd
Jalakai
be more
people.
heartbroken by this.
Big
Surprisingly, I'm not.
Jalakai people.
Obviously, it's always going to have my heart,
Yes.
but I'm also fine with this.
Jalakai turned 1 like on March 3rd.
But
if it's alive, no one really knows.
I'm
But,
still confused because the last week she was full on adamant that she was not falling for him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, denying.
But I'm wondering if she just said that to tell Liana just because she needed to tell Liana, or if she was not falling for him, and then then she he was dying and she was realizing that, oh my god, I'm actually falling for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, she says it 1 week, but I think once more things happening, it's like she realizes, yeah, I'm actually falling for this dude. Because in another article, so the interviewer is like, so did she fall for him? And Ainsley's like, oh yeah, 100%, absolutely. Like, okay, well,
no. What do we do with that? We're like, oh, no. He figured out how to do that. We wrote a little, added something to the scene we're working on. We're like, there we go.
Oh, I love this.
Yes.
The Ainsley's favorite part of Punch Drunk part of the script, the opening of the last episode where Seamus takes her hands and says, "You're an artist." I think it's such a huge moment that this guy sees a plot point that has not been addressed since the pilot episode of season 1.
That is true.
Yes.
We didn't forget about it.
No, we didn't.
We used it for several times.
But apparently Ainsley didn't either, which I love.
Better bring it back around.
And this is the second article I've seen that Ainsley does not want the storyline thrown away.
Yeah, please don't do it. Okay.
She's like, in my heart of hearts and dream of dreams, this would not get thrown away. It's important to me that it's important to her, and I want to respect that and honor this little journey that she's been on. It's the most emotionally taxing thing that she's gone through in the course of the show. And I think it's important to pay heed to that and be aware that this is not something that just goes away, not even the trauma of it, but just the effect of how do I keep going my job every day and pretending like I'm normal, like nothing happened. So here's my theory is we're either going to get fully broken emotional Jet or hardened Jet. She's going to pretend like she's fine. Everybody's going to think she's fine. She's going to have this hardened exterior, but there's this little crack of pain nowhere in the middle.
Yeah, because she feels deeply. I mean, yeah, she's in love with Seamus. Also, the fact that she feels guilty for his death.
Again, in my heart of hearts, the way we would see this specter would be for her to maybe have a little bit of an issue with the undercover stuff, which is true because they have her do it a lot. Even with the small operation. Not so much so that she's incapable of her doing her job. That doesn't intrigue me so much because honestly, I don't. Jet can do her job, but to see it take more of a toll on her than just being able to get up and go the next time that someone asks. Yes. What was the other one that I did?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, literally the title of this one. This is from the Wrap, and it says, "Law and Order Organized Crime. Jet's life or death situation is all her fault." Ainsley Sevier says, and I'm like, what the hell? So this is the one I tried to set it to read at 8:00 in the morning when I had to go to work, and I was like, this is a bad
7 o'clock. This was what I saw on this one. My friend told me I do not disturb on, so I was
and Ainsley writes, none of this would have happened if Jet hadn't tried to be so good at her job.
Yeah, and I wrote a line about that.
Again, so the interviewer, the first question was, did Jet actually fall for Seamus? And Ainsley replies, 100% without a doubt. I'm like, okay, then why the hell, look, I get it, and I can obviously see all the points of, she was absolutely falling for him. But then why have Jet say out loud that she's not falling for him if she's absolutely falling for him?
Denial.
Fair. Okay, there's this one. The question was, she's usually so jaded. When the squad was going to break up, she had essentially shrugged it off. And Ainsley replies, Jen has always had a very morally black and white view of the world and the job. Time someone is walking into her life now who's opening up a gray area that she has never really realized existed. I'm excited to see people witness this. The audience will get to see that Jet and Seamus have actually gone deeper than we've seen on screen. There's been more conversation and she knows more things about him. It's been a nice chance to get in her head and to see her empathizing with someone. Then this is the next part that I'm still a little confused on, and I need Ainsley to answer what's going on. So Ainsley says, with Malachi, she was not willing to make excuses for him. But what the heck does that mean?
Yeah, we got questions. So, like, where is he?
Like, okay, so, like, if you're saying that and Seamus is dead, does that mean our girl is single again, or what?
We got questions. Like, what happened?
Like,
we need
can
to
we
know.
just, like, the fact that, like, Ainsley's bringing it up means it's still a thing in the universe, so...
It just has not been talked about in several
what is it? Where are we at?
Hello, answer my question, please. I mean, we love Malachi to the end of our days, like, the end of our days.
Was the other thing?
Writing, we basically wrote the episode. When we wrote our fic, we wrote it as
says my
Malachi.
hope is that we do see this affects her. I don't want this to be swept in the rug or forgotten about. Same.
Mm-hmm.
And she also said, I'm incredibly self-critical, and for the first time I was like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. As you should be.
Yeah.
As you should be.
Phenomenal acting this week.
What was the other one? I know there was more. At least I thought there was more. I think that might have been the only. Then I might actually be able to.
Yeah, we were talking about when we were texting the other day. I explained it as like Jet's a very delicate person, and like any of the feelings that she has. So like this is gonna be a lot for her. Yeah.
Even Ainsley doesn't know how old Jet is.
We kind of made it up, but you know.
She's like Jet is 20 blank years old and confirmed.
Oh, because she said when I was 20, I got married when I was 20. But you know the whole
so this is the article talking about the double standard between Jet and Elliot in their undercover stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so he hasn't been as long. She hasn't been at it as long as he has. So he has more room to break the rules because he's a very seasoned detective and all that. Okay. Even if he's a seasoned detective, doesn't mean he should be breaking all these rules.
Yeah, there's a lot of unexcusable things. Like, sure, there's a fine line.
She continues and she says, but I think part of what is so frustrating for Jet is that she has clearly gone into this with a real desperation to prove that she is capable of doing more than just sitting behind a computer and making phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Which is a big thing, which I think is top tier.
Oh, I love this. On the one hand, I know that Jet is feeling like, oh, well, just because I did this, all you see is this lovesick girl, and I'm actually lovesick little girl, and I'm so much more than that. But at the same time, right after Jet has brought up this double standard, Belle points out that she's still wearing a necklace, and she realizes why she's still wearing the necklace for the first time. And it's because this is actually deeper than I think she ever meant for it to be or realized that it was.
Mm-hmm. That's what we said, but I really
Swear to God, if the necklace shows up again, I'm going to cry.
Well, I don't. Because there's literally no Jet on the promo, so we don't have anything to go next week. And I probably won't be watching it on time.
So originally,
that will be
the first script that they got ended totally differently than the way it was. Originally she was supposed to take it off herself.
You did an interesting thing with the necklace. So tell you what it is, you gotta look it for yourself. But
I love that,
we gotta bring that back.
I love that Ainsley doesn't see it as like her blowing the cover being a bad thing. She's like, no, I can use this to help him.
Yeah, which she tries to do, and then go too well for Jet. Well,
So
kind of goes.
I realized while I was writing my fic that literally everything Jet did was for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Like, she went to Seamus's house to prevent him from the guy dying in the hit. Well, the guy who was killed in the hit died. She wanted to prevent Seamus. Seamus was killed. She wanted to help Ayana. Ayana can't get justice. Everything. Also, Michael, I saw put a tweet on Instagram this morning, and it was literally him in his dressing room in one of his Seamus suits, and he's like giving a peace sign, and I'm like, great. Now I'm emotional again. Why did you have to? You didn't have to die, okay? You didn't have to die.
She doesn't have to die. Sorry, no. We didn't kill him.
Oh, Fangirlish put up their review. Okay, I'll go over this, and then I'll actually get to my fic because I have to.
We need to. This episode's long. I don't know how long it is because Instagram Live doesn't tell me how long this is. But we will wrap it up after you do that.
So article, then my fic, then we wrap up because it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm awake again.
Take a shower, then get back to writing.
So just praising Ainsley and Danielle again and again.
So good. Top tier.
Seeger makes it very obvious that no, Jet's not fine, even if she's saying it. Fair. Oh, I love this. The person says, it's isolating feeling something you shouldn't feel and definitely don't want to go through. Because it's like, it was talking about how Jet is feeling when she's with Seamus in the hospital. And she's like, I shouldn't be feeling this about him, but I am.
We played around that a lot in our we had to change. We kind of played around with like, what are we gonna do with this?
Oh, I love this. Jet and Seamus are more certainly a cautionary tale. There are also some fascinating shade of gray. Looking back over the course of this arc, all of Belle's concerns are spot on, while Sleutmarker still managed to somehow prove her wrong. Which is awesome because Belle knew it from the start that Jet was falling for her, for Seamus. And Jet is like, no, I'm not. I can still do my job.
Yes, you are.
Ayana was absolutely right, but Jet was still able to do her job.
Yeah. This is almost as long as the first part. We started at a little after 10.
I don't care. I have so much to say.
Karen is tired. You watching?
Oh, I love their little interview, their summary bullet point thing at the end. They said no, but just Seeger's eyes when Jet's in the trunk. Wow, how was that only the beginning? Yep.
Exactly.
Like, the fear.
The beginning was the best part. The beginning was the best part. And it kind of
Seamus, my dude, I'm with you on the whole trusting people sucks.
And I was sad at that part. I said, oh, no.
I gotta give it to you, though. You really are good at your job. Literally all of us, or anyone with taste whatsoever, at least at Seeger and Truett. Very much so.
So good.
Because I cared about you, I never lied about that. I am hurt. Yep.
All we know was pain.
I love these next ones. proud of the bald man for actually waiting for backup rather than trying to single-handedly rise to be Jet's savior and getting them both in deeper shit while he was at it.
Not the bald man.
Continuing. How many shootings are we up to, Elle?
That we know of. The last time they said it was no.
Can we talk about Elliot? Can we talk about Elliot Stabler recommending therapy to someone?
This is
gross.
therapy.
I'll even take it in the form of do as I say, not as I do at this point.
Very much. That's basically the principle of his life. Do as I say, not as I say.
It's just a doodle. It means nothing. It's apparently the new I'm fine.
Ooh.
No. Oh, I love that they pointed this out. That literally Chris Maloney's role in this entire episode is supporting.
Yeah, for once. For once.
Next week we get back to our
the chaos.
regularly scheduled program.
Ooh.
Woo.
We'll be out of town, so I may or may not be watching it on time, but we'll see.
I guess if I'm always talking about a live interrogation on SBU, we gotta come up with a word for what Belle did here. Because seriously, wow. Belle interrogation, Ayana, something, I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry. That's hard to go.
I just so much pain when the FBI comes and starts trying to take that photo. Yep.
Yeah.
Blanket statement that dog deserves better. Honestly, yeah, the dog would probably be better off not being trained to kill people.
Yeah.
I love this. We did our job. That's all we can do. It's giving. If nothing we do matters, then all of that matters is what we do. Because that's all there is, what we do now, today. If you suffer the pain with me, you get it. But if not, basically, you do what you can. There's no great reward at the end, but you just keep doing what you can. Only question is who's gonna do it. Scumbag like you, it can be anybody, even me.
Yep, this episode was something. So we talked about it for over 2 hours. Once again, like Callie wanted to talk about her fit, but for some reason, Callie has internet issues and is disconnected. Don't really. Callie disappeared because I guess she was having internet issues. Callie needs to come back. I need you to join back so we can finish this video. After you talking, so I don't feel like editing this out later. But yeah, we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Like, doing some crazy ass shit once again. But you know, we live with it. I need Kelly to come back to talk about. But so, if you don't know, I will save this video and then edit it and then upload it to Anchor so that it will be a podcast episode and be available on Spotify or wherever else you listen to your shows. Our Truth Runs Deep podcast. So like, give us a listen. Please do actually conference ambassador problems. Anchor's kind of trying to rip our ambassadorship off. So like, if you could love your friends lines a lot. You know, just that first episode, our first episode, it has 60. It needs to get to 100. Otherwise, we're gonna lose our sponsorship. So please, please, please go check listen to our episodes so we can keep our sponsorship. That would be great. Trying to put Callie back. Callie's coming back. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize my
Hmm.
phone was dying.
No.
We didn't lose anything, did we?
It was just me on the screen. So, I think we covered all of region.
All right. I think that's all the articles that I found. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about my fic. There we go. Which I will be releasing or like tweeting out literally like in a second. Oh, I love this. Sorry, one more article thing. This is about partners in crime, and it said if this entire arc is just an excuse to let everyone dress up and be hot, I'm bad.
Yep. Fantastic clothes.
Okay. So my fic comes right after the scene where Jet is sobbing, and I could only think of one song only. And if you've listened to us before, you can probably figure out where this is going, because I always say that Ainsley should play Alphabet when Organized Crime is if Organized Crime ends. And the Jet and Alphabet are very much like, and now I have even more of a reason to say they are. Because of this song No Good Deed. I'll let you read it, but I basically wrote it as a tribute to Ainsley. It's such a good song to this. I won't read the whole thing, but let me see if I can find it. Because it basically like went over like the fact that Ainsley was like, she loved him, she was falling for him, and is full on thinks this is her fault. So the song is called No Good Deed, and basically the premise is no good deed goes unpunished. My road of good intentions led where such roads always lead. No good deed goes unpunished. Then one part says, one question haunts and hurts. Too much to mention. Was I really seeking good or just seeking attention? Was she looking to do her job, or did she want this relationship? Sure, I meant well. Well, look at what well meant to. She caused a death. Actually, she caused 2 deaths, but yeah. So read it. I will be releasing the tweet now. I'm taking a risk, and
I was watching someone on mine this quote kind of fit quote fit the episode. Not your connection being on again. Did you find that again? Cow's frozen again. Go read her fit. It's real good. Cow's connection is gone again. Okay.
I'm back. Alright.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to say?
No,
I think we started rambling.
I will. This will be an Instagram IGTV video. It will be on the podcast. It will. Ooh.
Oh, next week.
It's
Next
called.
week's or next.
I probably.
Um,
I was gonna find all the trailers when the Wild
Wild and
Innocent,
Innocent,
yeah.
I think.
It's about like.
We're
Yeah.
back to Elliot
One of his,
being
like,
at the forefront
former Marine buddies whose
because
daughter got kidnapped. So, he's
by
they're
like
gonna go.
biker gang or whatever. Like, here's my thing, and I know I've said this before. Elliot riding a I don't know. Elliot riding a motorcycle and being in a biker gang is not plausible in itself. The only person who actually knows how to ride a motorcycle is Jet. But if they try to throw her back on the field after everything, then they're absolute idiots. So, if you do that, you better show some damn drama or I'm gonna.
I'm a bad pony.
Okay.
That's all we
I think that was it. So, yeah, 3.5 this week. I will still go watch it. Just be fair warned, the plot twist is annoying as all get out, and I'm not going to shut up about it anytime soon. Also, this might be the first time I have a ship where half of it is dead in canon, but I don't care. It's land.
There is a show, I think. No, I didn't ship that person though.
And
they just died.
I'm like, I've been talking to her, and I'm like, I have to separate it now because everything we wrote previously did not happen.
Different story has to be.
Now I have that version of Seamus in my head, and now we have a canon version of Seamus in my head, and I love both.
Seamus is a very interesting person. You have to separate my time. We have to give him a change. We can't tell you what it is yet, but like I don't want to say identity. I guess it kind of says it, but like something happens. He's a shift in himself, and Jet doesn't know how she feels about it. Yep. Yeah.
And once again, we got our shirt.
You got our shirt.
So, yeah.
All
right. I think that's everything.
Yeah,
we're totally rambling at this point.
Thanks for listening.
Go
live another day.
Yep.
You might do it live. We might do our Let's Talk About Fakes live because
we should probably do it in like the afternoon.
Because that'll be.
The fact that we have people here right now, including another one of my family members,
alive because
it's awesome.
People leave comments, and yes, but sometimes we say stuff you want to know in the moment what was going through our bad pony brain. So that's all. All right. Good night. Thanks for listening.
We'll post this soon.
Thanks for listening.